Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll have roll call, please, Carolina.
Councilmember Solby?
Yes.
Corrals?
Yes.
Gollison?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Mayor Wallace?
Yes. All right, we shall move on to approval of tonight's agenda. I'll entertain any additions or corrections at this time. If there are none, I'll look for that motion.
I move approval of the agenda.
I'll second.
Thank you. Motion and a second. All those in favor of approving tonight's agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have citizens' comments portion. If anybody would like to address the council, they sure can. Seeing none, we shall move on. We have no public hearings tonight. Next would before us is our reading and approval of our June 10th regular meeting minutes.
I'll move approval of the regular minutes from our 6/10/25 meeting.
I'll second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to approve our June 10th, 2025 regular meeting minutes. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And we have the condensed version of those same minutes from June 10th, 2025.
I'll move approval of the condensed minutes.
I'll second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to approve our June 10th condensed version of the meeting minutes. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Now we have the consent agenda, which tonight consists of audit of city bills, our gambling reports, our Morris Public Library Board meeting minutes from May 14th, 2025, and then we have an application for exempt permit for the Minnesota Deer Hunters Association, Pomme de Terre. I guess I can move approval of the items on the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. I will bring it back to the council for any discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have petitions, requests, and communications up next. One item, and it's Yodel Calendar Widget Installation Assistance. And I'll ask our city manager to speak to that, please.
Yeah, so at the last meeting, you approved the tourism board using funds for the Yodel calendar. When we got the contract, they did offer to install a widget on our website for $500. So I wanted to bring that back and ask that we move forward with using tourism dollars for that $500 for that widget. So someone can click on that and it'll go right to the tourism calendar.
I looked through I think Carolina, you sent that over, and it looks impressive. It looks cool, and it's nice to have everything in one spot. You know, having all of that, and I think just having Yodel in general will be a big help. But the widget would be nice as well.
I agree. So you're looking for a motion?
Yep.
I can move, I'll move on that motion to approve the Yodel widget installation assistance.
I will second that.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second, and once again, I'll just ask for a voice vote on that, please. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign.
It's yodeling.
Motion carried. Oh,
We're sitting
boy.
here too long.
Trying to figure out how to widget it.
Sense of humor. Yeah, it'll get us through it. Thank you. All right, we shall move on. Ordinances and resolutions. Our first resolution before us is a resolution approving an IT services agreement with LCSC for 2026-2028. I'll ask Becca if you want to speak to that one, please.
Yeah, so we use Lakes Country Service Cooperative for our IT services. So the last contract was a 2-year period. We're looking at doing 26 and 27 and 28, so, well, it was a 3-year period last time too, I'm sorry. 3-year period last time, 3-year period this time, looking at approximately a 3% increase each year, which seems to be the standard most times, so we have enjoyed them for our IT services. They have been very helpful in anything we need with IT. And they're offering, different services. The last administrative meeting I went with them, they talked about, for a small extra cost, which we'll bring up not with this, but somewhere else, but they, do a training and like send out catfishing emails, cause they're getting very sophisticated in how they do things. I probably get about 20, a month from, Mayor Wallers and our public works director asking for a different way of payroll. So I think it's important to keep up on that just to make sure we don't have any issues. But they have been very good to us and good to work with and easy to work with. So I would recommend renewing a 3-year contract with them.
And they service like a 9-county area, don't they? That's the same Lakes Country that,
Yep.
that she did that
And not all
publication on?
cities contract with them. They have a number of cities. They had showed it. I can't remember exactly how many they have, but they do contract with a number of cities, a number of school districts for IT services. They have 4 IT on staff, very easy to get a hold of, if not by email, by text. Very efficient.
So this contract includes all your services for the year? I mean, do they service the computers monthly?
Yes, excuse me, they can remote in.
Yeah.
They're always looking at our server, doing maintenance on it, troubleshooting. They can remote onto our computers if we're having a little issue. And like she said, they're very responsive. We text or call them. If we call them twice, they'll pick up. So,
Do they assist you in any software updates?
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
They do?
They're working on getting us from Microsoft, I don't know what Windows we have, but they're getting us to 365 shortly. And
So like if you're getting your accounting software, your city, whatever softwares you're running through that, they're doing that
Yeah,
too?
city emails will go through them.
They'll do all that kind of stuff too?
Mhm. Yep.
What's their number? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, it sounds like we're happy with them. They're doing a good job, and I think we want to keep doing work with them. So I will move a resolution approving an IT services agreement with Lakes Country Service Cooperative for a 3-year period as listed.
I'll second, but with the comment that that'll be 6 years by the time that this is done. It might be worth it just to put it out for bid at that point, just from a financial standpoint, right? We might get similar service from, and who knows, IT would have it, technical services might have advanced significantly, we don't know, but that'll be 6 years, it might be worth it just to go out for a different bid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I see it's 9,026, 9,087, then it goes up to 9542 and 27, and then up to just a tick over 10 grand by fiscal year 2028.
And for IT services, that's not bad.
No,
It's not.
I was
but-
gonna say, it seems reasonable enough to me. For all the services that they
Yeah.
provide, it seems reasonable. So we have a motion and a second on that, to approve on that, or to, regarding that resolution. So I guess I'll just ask for a roll call vote on that, please, Carolina?
Councilmember Gullixon,
Yes.
Solby,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Correll,
Yes.
Mayor Wolf.
Yes. All right, next resolution is approving an agreement with Mike Seahawk for the public access channel system management. Becca, I don't know, it's, you can maybe speak a little bit to
So
that.
our agreement ends at the end of this month. Looking at $225 a month, which is the same as the previous agreement, so no increase with that. Mike also is very easy to work with and very helpful if we need any help, so.
Yeah, I think he does a good job. I don't know if do we have any idea what kind of listenership we have for that at all? Or, I mean, I'm sure there's still people that use it, but,
Where do you even watch it at?
yeah, we got one.
I listen to it all winter, there's usually about 4 of us
Okay,
that watch the council meeting the day after.
all right. Yeah, for those people that are using it, I think it's a good
They get it
deal.
Down in Mexico, it's great.
Mike does a good job
I
for
was
us.
gonna say, I was wondering who, you and what other 3 people are watching it.
Watching you guys.
That's what I was wondering. That's what I thought.
All right. Well, I guess I'll move on that resolution approving an agreement with Mike Seahawk for public access channel system management.
I'll second.
All right, thank you. We have a motion and a second, and once again, I'll ask for a roll call vote on that, please. Carolina?
Councilmember Miller,
Yes.
Gullikson,
Yes.
Correll,
Yes.
Solly,
Yes.
Mayor Wolf.
Yes. Last resolution before us tonight is a resolution to enter into an agreement, transit grant application for 2026 funding. All right, once again, you can chat to that.
Yeah, I'll let Whitney, since she's been the head on this project.
Whitney, all right.
Yeah, we are currently trying to finish up this yearly application process for our transit operating funds, and then also we're putting in our bid for one bus too, to try and get that as well, just because our buses keep aging and it's very competitive to try and get buses. A lot of organizations need them, but so we try and put our name in for one each year and see if we can get it or not. But kind of as the memo states, they did increase the local share from 5 to 10%, the state did. But with our estimated expenses, including grants and our fare revenues that we're anticipating, there still would be no city local share expected, so. That's promising, it's getting tighter, but as of now, there's still no local city expectation of funds to be contributed.
Our last application, or last one got scrubbed, didn't it?
That was electric bus.
That was the electric
completely
bus.
Separate, but yes, they decided to cancel the contract after the contractor decided it wasn't an efficient product to release.
So no electric bus, but we got this, okay. All right. Any other discussion on that?
No, but I'll move on that resolution to enter into an agreement with the transit grant application for 2026 funding.
I will second that, if we can get new buses and basically not cost us anything out of pocket, just cover it with grants and fare coverage. I think it's a great deal for our city residents.
Yeah, I agree. I think we all know that it's a great service that we provide, so. All right, thank you. We have any other discussion? Otherwise, we'll put her to a vote. All right, we have a first and a second on that. I'll ask for a roll call vote, please, on that resolution. Carolina?
Councilmember Gullikson,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Solly,
Yes.
Correll,
Yes.
Mayor Wolf.
Yes. Okay, trucking right along. We have the city manager's newsletter.
Yeah, so last week we had the tree board meeting. They are working on the EAB plan. We discussed the tree giveaway, the tree planting, and had a discussion about an ash tree on the boulevard across from the park. So the owners of the home were there stating that they had a fear of it coming and landing on their house. So the tree board decided that they would all go take a look at it, talk to Craig, and then get back to them on if it was a tree that they felt should be taken down or just maybe trimmed up or left alone.
For what it's worth, I believe that was a maple.
Oh, was it a maple? I'm sorry. Oh yeah, it was, because then they had taken a different ash tree out of their yard.
Yeah.
Yes, so the Planning Commission had a work session, so they talked about different resources for the commission members, and then discussed a parcel that wants to split. So I needed to get more information, and we discussed kind of what the map looked like. So more information before that parcel would split. Planning for event, so the weekend of the 14th, our state was struck with some tragedy when a senator was shot with his wife, a representative, and her husband were killed, said to be politically motivated, with tensions high over the country, their state, locally. I do think it's good that we maybe look at having discussions on if something were to happen, what's our plan? So even if it's just us talking, I know we had went to something about the school and kind of seeing how they, I think if we just even talk it out, you have a little bit more sense of preparedness if something were to happen. You'd hate to ever see something happen, but it seems to be happening more frequently, even at the local level. So we don't have to discuss it tonight, but I do think it's something we need to think about, and maybe at one of our work sessions have a little bit more discussion on creating a plan if something like that were to ever happen.
Becca, does the city have much interaction with emergency management over at the county?
I talk to her every once in a while. I participated in their event with the school. We've talked to her when we've had some FEMA claims.
Okay.
So I know who she is. I've had some communications with her prior. But
Okay.
she might be a good one to reach out to.
Well, remember there is a county emergency center essentially that my understanding is set up during critical events.
Well, and I think if I understand your concern, it would be more of an immediate response, I think, situation. And I know we used to have a law enforcement present at really at all of our meetings. And I don't know where Sheriff Dingman would be at with providing, support for our council meetings or not. If the council thinks that's something we should maybe have a conversation with Sheriff Dingman about or not. If, just depends on what your pulse is for the, risk assessment. But, you're right. I think that's maybe a conversation we should have, but could be an option or something to look at.
Yeah. Railroad project. So the railroad had reached out to Russ about working on the railroad at 7th Street between Atlantic and Pacific. They, at our staff meeting today, he said they are looking at next Monday and Tuesday to do Atlantic 7th between Atlantic and Pacific, and Wednesday and Thursday they're going to be working down by Seneca South. So excited that all the costs, when they first reached out, when I first took this position, they had reached out about having us pay the full amount because it's in our city. I know other cities who have done it because I've reached out to them and the Allison, who was a city attorney at the time, kind of about how do we address this because that's a lot of money. We kind of held back, and they have heard a lot of complaints from citizens, and they are just gonna do it, and all we have to pay for is asphalt. So instead of probably a $400,000 bill, we're looking at about a little over $7,000. So grateful for that, but they will be working on that next week.
Are we gonna post that in a social media in a couple of different places, I assume?
Yes.
As well?
Yep. Wastewater ponds, there are some issues with some valves at the wastewater pond. We'll need to purchase one this year and then budget for one next year. Looking at the cost, Ryan was thinking that it would be about $25,000 to $30,000. But just so you're aware that those expenses will be looked at as we budget. Again, as we look at our budget with our wells, we will need to add funds for jetting of the wells each year. So used to be done. I don't know why, Ryan doesn't know why it was stopped, but we do, we'll need to have a total well rehab in next year's budget. Zoning, I've had a lot of questions on zoning and setbacks lately. Part of our contract with Inspectron, they do the building inspection side of it. They charge us extra for the zoning. So I've been trying to take on a lot more of that just so we don't have expenses, but that does take up quite a bit of time because it's building season, and we're very fortunate that a lot of people are looking into building. And yeah, but just so you're aware, there's a lot of those questions that I've been working with lately. We have talked about in-house and have seen a lot of different listserv items about employee recognition policies. So I'd like to look at one and bring one back to the council. So it's just a nice and legal way that we can recognize employees for the work that they contribute to the community. So expect that, not in the near future, but we will be working on that and bringing it to council. And then next month, we will have a work session. We will have a 5th Tuesday. So our thought was to have the fire chief here to show us the ladder truck, possibly go to a couple spots that he was thinking we were lacking with, and showing us why he feels there's the need for a different ladder truck. And have some, I know we talked the last year's budget session on kind of waiting and letting it go, but he wants to come and show, and I think it would be good to go out with the ladder truck and just see what capabilities he's saying that it can't do for us. So that'll be one of the things on there, and if we go to different places, I don't know how long that'll take, but if you want something else on the agenda also, let me know.
It's the 29th, huh?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Good to keep informed, and I think a hands-on look at things would be real beneficial, really.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions from our city manager's newsletter? Hearing none, we shall move on to mayor and city council board updates. I guess I can kick it off. Last Friday on the 20th, the Chamber of Commerce featured the music in the park and had the cheese bots there. Some local talent got out and played some music, and I thought it was pretty well attended. You know, it was a nice night. A couple of food vendors there, and I think all that were there enjoyed themselves. I was there, and it was decent turnout. Anything else? Anybody would like to share? Hearing none, is there any other business to come before the council? Hearing none,